Hi, my name is James Shepard, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to sell more than 100 merchants. How to sell more than 100 merchants. Now, I realize this seems like maybe an arbitrary title, but there is kind of a barrier that I've noticed with a lot of salespeople in our industry. They are usually able to get to 100 merchant accounts. In other words, in the last video, we were talking about the average, merchant services rep. So you're out in the field, you're walking into 20 businesses a day, you've gone through my training courses or something comparable, you have a general idea of how to close deals. So, what happens is you're going to make 10, 12 sales a month, but then you're going to get to like 100, which is going to happen somewhere around the end of your first year, depending on how many sales you're making, somewhere towards the end of that first year, because usually your first month, you're kind of just getting started, and you're really going to kick things off that second month. Then you're going to end up with about 100 merchants that first year. And then all of a sudden you're going to hit a barrier. And so at that point you're making $4,000 or $5,000 a month in residuals usually. And so, there's a comfort level that comes from that. But there's some other barriers you hit. And today I'm going to talk to you about how to sell more than that. So before we dive into that, I want to talk to you about where this whole kind of mini series is based on. We're using a calculator. So make sure you have the calculator pulled up right now. It doesn't cost anything. You don't have to sign in or log in or anything. Just go to instantquotetool.com, instantquotetool.com, and click on goals. And then we're on the second two boxes. So in the last video, we changed the first box from 8 to 12. And we talked about how if you're an average rep, you're going to make 12 sales a month. So go ahead and make that change. Now we're looking at the next two boxes. How many sales per month are you going to make in the second year and in the third year and beyond? And we want to talk about how to get past that hump of 100 deals. So a couple of tips I want to give you. Number one, make sure that your processor is helping you as you get more and more deals. And here's what I mean by that. You're going to have a lot of customer service stuff that's going to happen. Once you have 100 accounts, there's going to rarely be a week that's going to go by where you're not going to get 2 or 3 existing customers that are going to have some kind of a problem, some kind of an issue. And one of the mistakes that merchant services reps make is that they direct all of their merchants back to them, and they give them their cell phone number and all of that, and they say, hey, I'm a local person, I'm here to help you, I'm here to support you. And from a sales perspective, I get it. You definitely want to come across as the personalized, local rep. However, let me give you a little bit of a different approach that you can use that will help you dramatically. And you may even want to revisit your existing clients to explain this to them. One thing I found is that when my merchants call me directly, I'm rarely able to solve the problem for them. Okay? Usually, I end up just calling the processor anyway. Now, that can be a real problem if your processor has 20-minute hold times. And in that case, I would recommend you find another processor, quite honestly. But if you have a good company that doesn't have long hold times, then tell the merchant, hey, what you want to do is I have a great tech support department, right? Here's the number for the tech support department. Reach out to them. But here's the thing I want to make sure you understand. I am here for you 110%. The only reason I want you to call the tech support department first is because you're going to get an answer to your question faster, because they're going to always answer the phone. They're going to always be available to work with you. However, if you have any issue whatsoever or tech support is not solving your problem, here's my cell phone number, here's my pager, here's my email, here's my tech, whatever, text me, Facebook me, Snapchat me, whatever. I want to give that personalized service, but I want to direct them first to tech support. Why is that important? Because once you get to 100 merchants, if your merchants are all calling you, you're going to have a hard time making sales, okay? So make sure you're directing your merchants to the right place. Secondly, don't be afraid to reinvest in your business by hiring someone part-time. If you've gotten to the point where you sold 100 merchants, the odds are you probably have the skill set necessary to get to 500 merchants. Do you realize how much money you would make if you had 500 merchant accounts? Many of you right now are watching this video, you've got about 100 merchants, and you're making $4,000 a month, right? So if you had 500 merchant accounts, you'd be making $20,000 a month, okay? That's pretty good. How do you get there? Take that $4,000, take 1,000 of it, or maybe even a little more, and reinvest that in a part-time person. This could be somebody that works at a local computer shop, somebody just got out of high school that needs a job and they're technically inclined, and show them, hey, how do you reprogram a terminal? How do you change the baud rate on a dial terminal, right? Help them understand some of these basics of communication errors and issues that pop up, and have them be the ones that are going out and doing some of this customer service stuff for you. So once you get to 100 merchants, you've got to start thinking strategically about what am I going to delegate? How am I going to delegate it? Now, assuming you do a good job of that, you can actually change. Right now, I've got that 7 and 5, so 7 sales per month in year 2. You can change that to 12. And then you can change year 3 to 12 because you're not going to drop it all because you're hiring people. You may even become more effective and more efficient. However, if you're not going to hire anybody, then what I would do is I would leave those numbers alone at 7 and 5 for the purposes of this mini series. But again, when you get to that point, that's going to be a really big barrier. So keep in the back of your mind, when you get 100 merchants, it's time to take a step back and think about how am I going to get past 100 to get to that next level. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about upfront bonuses and kind of commission structures and average upfront bonuses and how to calculate that.